It costs money to breathe the air outside at this point.
You can't even get gas in your tires for free. They charge them for air.
You heard him. He didn't stutter. You can't get no gas in your tires for free. They charge you for air. Period. Hey besties, welcome back to Delete That, the podcast where we overshare for your entertainment and maybe make you feel a little bit better about your own life choices.
Today, we're talking about everyone's favorite trigger, money. From the most we've ever had to the dumbest things we've ever spent it on. We are diving into the beautiful disaster that is personal finance, gay straight edition.
We're asking the big questions. How much money would it take to actually feel okay? Is it possible to live on minimum wage in Texas? And why do jobs expect you to give them your soul for $13.50 and a pizza party?
We'll also be talking Powerball dreams, fake rich fantasies, and what we'd actually do if we won tomorrow.
So, whether you're ballin', broke, or somewhere in between, this one's for you. Let's get into it. All right, well, starting with the what are we listening to this week? I'm listening to a lot of different things, honestly. First of all, Lil Wayne's album dropped last Friday, so I have been banging that because it is amazing. Honorable mentions on there: Loki's theme, Alone in the Studio with My Gun, featuring MGK and Kodak Black, and Written History, probably the top three right now from that album that are like on repeat. Island Holiday is also really good, which is Weezer's song, and he remixed it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really cool. So, really good album. But I'm also listening to just like a bunch of other little things. I'm also listening to a artist that I found off of TikTok called Honest Ave. He got really popular for a while because he wrote a song about addiction and like surviving addiction and people that, he knows that are in addiction. It was a really popular, really like emotional song. He's put out some more music, so I've just been listening to him. And the song that I'm listening to by him right now is called Living Wrong. And it gives me like Everlast vibes.
So kind of like a modern take on 90s grunge a little bit.
Yeah, kinda.
hmm
It's really good though. You'd actually really fuck with it.
I'll check that out. First of all, love Lil Wayne. He's been around for a long time. Definitely was bumping to him when he was YMCMB with Drake and Nicki Minaj and all
Mm-hmm.
them. I mean, you can't get better than those were the glory days.
Facts.
So, love Lil Wayne. Cool that he's still making music because he could have dropped off, but he said, nope, I'm back.
Literally.
So, that's cool. And then you said TikTok again. You're the queen of finding music on TikTok.
I am.
But that's what it's there for. It is
Mm-hmm.
literally a source where people can upload their creativity and we can latch on. So,
Yep.
more power to these people. For me this week, I'm listening to also a little bit of everything. It's been a lot of early 2000s, mid 2000s punk rock emo like Seosin and Amberlin, Emery, Under Oath, all those bands. And then with like a weird twist, I've been listening to Harry Styles.
Okay. I love that.
Um, the album with Watermelon Sugar on it,
Mm-hmm.
bunch of bangers on that album. I didn't really listen to his last album, which was Harry's House, so I went back and I kind of listened to that all the way through. Found a bunch of bangers on that. And then lastly, there's this girl I found on TikTok.
Yep.
Her name is Sierra Farrell,
Mm-hmm.
and she did this cover of it's called Years, which is an old-timey country song.
Mm-hmm.
She's been blowing up. I've been seeing her TikToks every other video. They're calling her the Chappalachian Rowan
Okay.
because she's from Appalachia.
Okay.
So she's got the twang. She's got
Uh-huh.
powerhouse vocals though.
Yeah.
Have you heard? Have you?
I haven't, other than when you sent me the song of her, and I have that. Other than that, no, I actually hadn't came across her yet.
So she's done two really big collabs. One I think was with Shabuzi or Jelly Roll. I could be mistaken. The other one was with Zach Bryan,
Mm.
which he's huge. So she's really getting her foot in the door. She's incredible. Go listen to her. Okay, so on this episode, the big idea is money. Obviously, money rules the world. It rules our entire life. I mean, everything we do revolves around it. So why not spend an episode talking about it? And I want to kick things off with some personal money confessions because let's be real, everyone has a money story, and some of them are hilarious, chaotic, and kind of sad, especially for us.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, before we get into this though, this is weighing on my mind now that we're talking about money. If I had $1 for every time a dumb bitch, which we're dumb bitches too, so we'd have $1 for each of us already. But if for every dumb bitch that took back their cheating, nasty, scummy ass man, I'd be rich. I'd be so rich.
We would both be rich. Yeah.
I would be so rich.
Hmm.
So, side note, real quick, we have to interrupt. Update. If you were
Oh.
here for the first couple of episodes where we talked about a friend who was dealing with someone who was trying to engage in physical relations with them while they were also in a relationship with a girl, their
Hmm.
significant other. Um, more has came to light. Said friend finally told said girlfriend the truth about everything that happened. And said girlfriend just kind of brushed it under the rug. Honestly, has kind of turned it a little bit and made it almost as if it was the girl's fault and not her man's fault who was in her DMs asking to do so many dirty things to her, even, a day after their anniversary that they just celebrated together.
That's the part that kills me because what do you mean? So we're getting an update in real time about Mr. Cheat on my girlfriend that I pulled and brought here from another state to move here and to not know anybody and to take you out of your comfort zone just so that I can go cheat with, and this was a coworker,
This
right?
is his coworker.
Go cheat with a coworker. And mind you, the coworker didn't actually engage in anything with him.
No,
She stood her ground.
she did.
She let him play his little cards and say his little things, and she
And
kind of,
multiple times in messages, she even brought up the fact of, you're the one in a relationship, not me. And he still didn't care. Like, he still made his choice and made his bed and still played in it.
crazy.
And,
So you're telling me that the girl,
mm-hmm,
the side girl, the coworker,
mm-hmm,
she told the girlfriend,
mm-hmm. She told the girlfriend face to face. They
wow,
went out together.
we were wondering if she was going to do that.
Mm-hmm. And it took a while, but he made some more comments in passing. Not even through like the Snapchatting, how it was before, not through any kind of like texting. No, this was in passing, in person, with other people in ear distance to be able to hear comments that were made that were very vulgar and should not be said on work time to your coworker. And yeah, she finally, I think that's honestly what broke the camel's back is like, okay, you're obviously not going to stop, even though I've told you no, like we've already determined that this isn't going to happen and you're still going to pursue it, then I think I need to go ahead and move to the next term of action, which was to tell the girlfriend. And but the girlfriend doesn't even care. This is what is so mind-blowing. And it's like, it's not that she doesn't care, I think she cares, but it's just the fact that she like, I have the messages of her response, and she's like, I'm just so incredibly stupidly in love with him, so we're gonna work past this.
Keyword stupidly.
Literally. And this girl has already made comments about she's found other messages with other girls. He has already owned up to ruining relationships because he fucks around with his coworkers.
Oh my gosh.
So like, it's just it sucks because of course, being a person who's gone through all of that,
Mm-hmm.
sitting back and watching it, I'm just like, baby girl, and on the inside I'm screaming because I'm like, baby girl, you are making the wrong choice. But as a person who has been through all that, we also know that you have to live and you learn, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to go through everything. Everybody goes through everything at their own pace. And unfortunately, it may be a couple years down the road before she finally wakes up and decides, you know what? Actually, the disrespect from him is way greater than the love I have for him.
True. Well, since you brought up an update from personal life, I, I don't even know if I told you about this, but I was talking to this guy. We had matched on Facebook dating. We talked for a couple days on there, moved it over to Snapchat, talked for like a week on Snapchat, then exchanged phone numbers, and then we started FaceTiming every single night. I don't like to FaceTime. Like, don't call me, don't FaceTime me, text me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a big time texter. Anyways, I was doing it all for this man. I was doing backflips, right? And, anyways, weeks go by. We're on FaceTime one night. He literally tells me, yeah, I just don't know if I could date somebody that didn't make as much money as me.
Oh.
Right, that was my reaction. I took it surface level at first because
Of
I'm like,
course.
let me pick your brain a little bit. Let me see what you mean by that.
Uh-huh.
And his whole thing is, oh, I'm in college right now. I'm about to graduate. I'm going to graduate school. I'm going to become a physician's assistant. And the average salary for PAs in Texas is like $165,000. Like, yeah. So I expect my man to match my salary.
Mm.
First of all, never heard that before in my life. So I said, baby, you do know that minimum wage here in Texas is 7.25. He acted dumbfounded, right? He's from Alaska.
Uh-huh.
Their minimum wage is higher. Has to be.
Yeah.
No, oh my gosh, that's crazy. There's no way people could live off of that. And I said, yeah. I said, which now that I'm making more than that, not a lot more, but two times that, three times that, whatever, I feel like I'm doing a lot better than I used to.
Right.
But I'm still not at like I live paycheck to paycheck. I make sure all my bills are paid, all my responsibilities. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. I'm never gonna make that kind of money unless I one go back to school or two find a different job that's gonna pay me a lot more.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, you should. I said, I should what? And he's like, you should go back to school. Okay, I explained, look, college is not in the trajectory right now.
Mm.
That's something if I want to go back,
On
I
top of it
will.
also cost money.
Right, exactly.
And
So,
I don't know if anybody, whoever's living under rock right now and doesn't know, it costs money to breathe the air outside at this point.
you can't even get gas in your tires for free. They charge them for air.
You heard him. He didn't stutter. You can't get no gas in your tires for free. They charge you for air. Period.
Listen,
I feel it. I feel it, brother. Fuck them.
I am not a scientist.
I'm not a historian. Okay.
Okay, winding it back in because we are dumb bitches. Primarily me.
No, not even.
But yeah, anyways, long story short, this fool literally was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to date someone if they don't match my income. And I said, okay, well, I don't think that's going to be me. So,
I think he needs to go find a different site because, baby, the Tinder profiles, you can just read them and know who's got the money and who doesn't. So, like, what?
exactly, like, swipe through my photos. They're all of me at home, okay? I don't leave the house. Baby, we not outside. So, long story short, that ended. He blocked me on everything.
Honestly, good riddance, because he probably would have been asking you for $5 down the road. And
Exactly.
maybe graduate school ain't cheap, so good luck with that.
Good riddance.
I hope you're already making physician's assistants monies. Okay, so rerouting back to the original question.
What is the most amount of dollars you ever had at one time?
Most amount of doll hairs ever at once. Probably like, I don't know, 7K. And it didn't last long, that's for sure. It definitely went and paid a lot of bills off and things that I owed money to because I definitely don't have nothing to show for it.
We'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
So, same question for me. couldn't be. I don't even think it was 7K.
Honestly, that's probably I'm probably highballing myself. It was probably like 750, like $7.50, but I took it.
Right. No, I honestly, I don't ever think I've seen 10K in person.
Never.
So,
I passed out. I would honestly they'd have to arrest me because I'd act foolish.
yeah. So, most amount of money I've ever had at one time, probably like the one time that I like sold a car for cash. And I
Okay.
think I got like 4 grand out of that.
Okay.
And that was a lot of money for me back then. I thought I
I
was,
mean, honestly, a grand right now looks like a lot to us.
we'll take it.
Literally, literally.
Okay, so now, what is the dumbest thing that you've ever spent money on?
Bitch, chicken nuggets.
This episode, they're gonna be like, y'all could have saved this in the drafts.
Dumbest thing I ever bought. Is that the question?
Mm-hmm.
What's the dumbest thing I ever bought? Man, I don't know. I mean, I've bought a lot of dumb shit for sure, like side little thing. You know what I mean? Like $4 here, $2 here.
Probably something you spent a lot of money on and then regretted it.
I think the reason it's hard for us to think of something like this is because we don't spend our money. We got no money to spend for one. Secondly, what little money we do have to spend, we are very crucial about what we spend it on. Like,
Now we are.
yes.
There was a time where we weren't. You know how many times I spent money on a gigantic vaporizer?
Obviously, if we're talking about that, then we go, there's the stupid shit my money went to.
I said,
We used to
I used to walk up in those vape stores and be like, what's the biggest mod you got?
sit at the fucking little bar acting like we were at a bar. Let me try that other flavor.
Yeah, y'all got pink pussy. Let me try that one. Ain't never had it.
Okay, yeah, if we want to talk about that, I bought a lot of vape shit for someone who didn't even vape nicotine. And I spent so much money on that shit. Okay, there we go. That's a good one. I spent a lot of money on vape stuff that I never. I don't even know where half the. It's all gone. Honestly, I don't have none of that left.
What about, didn't you buy like a Canon 5000 camera?
I did, and I ended up because I was a photographer at one point. You know, I've been everything in my life. I am the Jackie of all trades. They got the Jack of all trades. I'm the Jackie. And bitch, let's just say the photography era was fun. I did a lot of actually, it's funny, I was out at my mom's the other night and I was cleaning out her PC and I found a bunch of the pictures that I had done back then. And she was like, "Who are these people?" And I was like, "Remember when I had a little photography business?" So yeah, I did have it was like a 400, yeah, like a 400 $500 camera.
But you made your money back on that
I
stuff.
definitely made my money back on that at least. So,
I don't know. I'm kind of in the same boat. I feel like I don't think I've ever dropped a bunch of money on one thing that just wasn't necessary. But I do feel like I've spent a lot of money on things that weren't necessary.
mhm, absolutely.
So if you ask me, probably the dumbest purchase I've made in the last few years was probably my car
I feel that.
because that thing was like a $30,000 car and I Kelly Blue booked it and it said that they would give me $2 and a pack of gum.
They're all out of gum.
So, yeah, I feel like that was such a waste of money. And if I ever buy another car again, I'm buying a 1997 Honda Civic.
I feel that. Or Ford Ranger. A fucking
Ford,
Ford fucking Ranger.
those are probably not cheap anymore either.
Well, not the new ones. They have
Exactly.
2025 Ford Rangers, and those bitches are nice.
Mm,
But I want like the 1987 one where I gotta roll down the window manually. You gotta kick it to start
yep,
it. That's the one.
yep. I feel that. Okay, so let's talk about impulse versus intentional spending. Are you more of like a budget babe or are you a YOLO, it's my money and I'm gonna spend it the way I want to type of girl?
YOLO is my money and it'll come back type of shit, which is not a good way to live. Don't fucking live like me, bro, because you will literally be stressing about money all the time. But I'm a very impulsive but also smart buyer, if that makes sense. I'll impulse buy something because it'll be like, oh, I need this. And it's not necessarily that I absolutely need it, but it's I need it for a project or I need it for something else to help me on something else. So that's why I will like give into it per se. I'm not more so on the I'll put it in my cart and then immediately need to buy it. I'll sit with stuff in my cart for a month, 2 months before I finally go through with the purchase when I'm like, okay, I've thought about it long enough. It's been on my mind consistently. So I feel like it at least will be of service if I keep thinking about, oh, I need this, oh, I need this, oh, I need this. If it completely leaves my mind and then I see it in my cart whenever I go back to just look at my cart, I'll usually get rid of it because I'm like, oh, I don't even know what I wanted that for. What about you?
Well, back to the whole like living paycheck to paycheck thing, don't really have it in the budget to just spend irrationally.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say I am impulsive because I'm very much that type of person. I'm like, I work all the damn time, I make the money, so I should be able to buy something when I want it.
Yep.
A lot of the times it comes down to you can't really afford it,
Mm-hmm.
but we're going to make other sacrifices in the budget so that you can.
Yep.
Kind of like my $500 Lady Gaga ticket
Mm-hmm.
that I texted you midday and was like, bitch, we're going to Vegas.
Yep.
And you said, bitch, with what money? And I said, bitch, we're going to figure it out.
And we always do.
And we always do.
We always do.
But
We
yeah,
always
I
have.
would I would say that is very impulsive.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
every now and then you have to like realize like when you're somebody that just doesn't have a plethora of money, you make those decisions
Mm-hmm.
because you're just like, I don't ever get to do this.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna do it. And the consequences will be the consequences.
Yep.
But so is the IRS gonna come bend me over and spank my ass? I don't think so.
I'm gonna wake up the very next day and keep having to go to work and live my excruciating poor life. So,
Exactly.
no, I
Uh,
feel that.
So sometimes I am very much the treat yourself, and I will give that advice to anybody out there. Treat yourself, especially if you work and you make the money. Every now and then, it's okay
And
to,
if your bills are paid,
right, make sure your rent is paid, make sure your car payment's paid, make sure your utilities are on, and then buy the PlayStation, buy the Switch.
have fun. We talked about it 2 episodes ago. Death can be at anybody's door. So why not? Why not have fun while you can? If you have the money right now, you have the money.
Exactly, which leads me into the price of happiness.
Hmm.
So, I want to talk to you a little bit about what it actually takes financially to feel okay.
Okay.
Not rich, just okay.
Okay.
So, look at what you make now and think about okay, how much would you need to make to feel like you're comfortable?
Mm.
I'll start.
Okay.
Based off of what I make now and the fact that I do live paycheck to paycheck, my bills usually come out to about what I make in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I have an excess of maybe a couple $100.
Mm-hmm.
But that couple $100 also could be spent on groceries and things like that, which are also necessities. So I would think for myself, if I could make at least $75,000 a year. No, that's stupid.
I'm gonna say a million, so don't worry how stupid you're gonna sound, because I'm gonna sound the stupidest.
And let's be honest, 75,000 doesn't sound like a lot. If I could make $75,000 a year, I feel like that is it's not too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there in the middle, I feel like. Plus, a lot of people make that and they have normal jobs or what I would consider a normal job.
Yeah.
Like I know store managers who
Mm-hmm.
make that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like an
Absolutely.
outlandish number or something that's unachievable. I feel like that would be enough money for me to live comfortably if I'm making about $5,000 to $6,000 a month. Based off of what I know I already spend and what my bills come to, that would give me an excess to be able to save a bunch of money, but also do the things that I want to do. I would say about that much. More would always be great.
Absolutely. It'd be nice to have. Honestly, 75K would be probably, honestly, my safe bet. Because that's, first of all, more than I've ever seen
Mm,
a year. But for two, that would put me so comfortably. And that would put me comfortable in being able to save, make sure everything is paid. Also, pay off a bunch of shit that would literally help me clean my credit back up. My credit is completely destroyed because of the lack of financial discipline, but also experience that I had as a 20-year-old with financial freedom of my own money, my own credit score, my own social security number that can also give you more money if you go looking in the right places. Which at this point, nah, I told you earlier in the day, lock that shit up in Guantanamo Bay right now. Put my social security number in the fucking cell and hide the key. Burn it. I don't care what you do with it. Don't let me use my social security for money ever again.
If it requires my social security number, it's already out of my budget.
Facts.
Well, some guys and I were in our group chat. We were talking about this earlier, like how much debt we're all in,
Uh-huh.
and someone had said something, and they were like, "Oh, well, if someone could just give me $1 million," and I stopped them dead in their track, and I said, "If someone could just give me 30K,
Oh,
30K
10K
cash,"
even though.
I'm like, 30K is not even a lot. A lot of people go buy a brand new car with cash
Mhm.
for 30K. And I'm like, so many people take for granted the money that they make. Like, they don't understand how privileged they are.
Yep.
Because for me, if someone handed me 30K right now, it would literally take every weight, every burden off of my shoulders.
It would change our life.
It would completely get me out of debt. I could literally pay off everything I've ever owed, including my car, anything that was on my credit report, and then also go buy a new social security number.
A whole new identity,
Oh,
bitch.
new.
I'm not that old bitch with no money. I'm a new bitch.
So like
Give
it
me a
really
rich bitch name.
exactly Anastasia, hello. Sebastian, nice to meet you.
Absolutely.
But it's crazy cuz like my friend was saying this too. He was like, I have relatives that literally like have two houses, a lake house, $100,000 boat. They drive $60,000 cars, and like they sit there and complain like they don't have money and all this stuff. And it's like, baby, if you could just sell one of them cars and give me the cash for it, it would change my life.
Absolutely.
Like people just don't realize like how fortunate they are, and I get a lot of anxiety about my money.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the calls coming in, the having to budget and know like, okay, well, you're gonna have this much when it's all said and done. You got to make it last however many days, whatever. It fills me with anxiety.
It's stressful.
It is super
I
stressful.
remember, I mean, back whenever, because we've worked at so many places together, back when you worked at the job that I'm working now, when you worked there with me, I remember plenty of times of us sitting in the parking lot talking about how if we could just get paid a little bit more. This was both back when we were both part time there. I had not gone full time there yet. And we were literally hanging on by pennies and dimes, barely.
725.
7.25, and that's still the minimum wage here in Texas, which is insane. But I remember sitting there and crying about how we were going to eat. For one, we were barely eating back then. We were big bitches still, but I don't know how because we literally didn't eat.
Make that make sense. How are we broke but also fat?
But I do remember plenty of times where I would cry out after being so stressed about the money and just literally be like, I understand why people commit suicide.
Mm,
I understand why people literally kill themselves over money because this is not fun. This is not a fun feeling to sit in that I am working every day of my life.
every day.
I am doing things that I don't even like. I'm not even doing things that I like. I'm just doing them because I have to do them and I have nothing to show for it and I'm not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
it's the mental health part of it is insane. Money can definitely change your mental health in so many different ways.
Oh, for sure. And I think like with June being Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, they say that like on average annually 600,000 men every year commit suicide.
Mhm. Yeah. And
which is crazy because when you think about it, and I'm not trying to be sexist or traditional or anything like that, but usually the man feels like he has to be the provider.
uh-huh,
He
of
has to be
course.
the breadwinner of the family. He's got to make sure his family is taken care of.
Hmm.
So I feel like a lot of men do commit suicide because they feel like they're unable to provide for their family.
I know a man specifically who has thought about taking his own life out of knowing that his death would give his family money.
Mm,
And that's terrible.
mm.
Like, he would rather pass away and be gone from existence here on earth with him and his wife, and what their future could be, because he would rather his wife being able to be taken care of. And that's sad.
So like basically the family gets a life insurance policy
Yep.
or whatever. Yeah. No, that's wild.
And that's sad.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. The work-life balance is also crazy because I feel like we literally slave away to these companies. And like you said, we're doing things that we don't even enjoy doing, but we're doing it because we have to. And they know that.
Yep.
They know that the system is broken. They know that we need them more than they need us. But in reality, they need us.
Oh, for sure.
Because if I didn't show up to work tomorrow, guess what? Suddenly it's going to take two people to do the job I was doing.
Absolutely.
Well, and these companies also love to keep their employees thinking that they're replaceable.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
don't ever get too comfortable because you're replaceable.
Yep.
And it's just a sad reality that we live in. Like, there's no work life balance for a lot of people.
Hmm.
I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. I mean, by the time I get home, it's 6:30. I take my dogs for a walk, which is, yeah, nice and relaxing, whatever. I make myself dinner and then I'm in bed
Yep.
because the day is over. Yes, I get my weekends to have the me time, but if someone came out of the legislator tomorrow and said, hey, we want to pass the 4-day work week with 3-day weekends, I'm all for it
For sure.
because I've been doing this since I was 16. I've worked every kind of schedule you can think of. I've worked overnights, I've worked early mornings, I've worked late afternoons. I've done it all. I've slaved away to these companies that don't care about me and they barely want to pay me for what I'm worth. I would take the 4-day work week with the 3-day weekend in a heartbeat.
I would easily in a heartbeat. I've been working 6 days a week for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely take a change in schedule at any point
Mm-hmm.
with even a little bit just more money.
Mm-hmm. No, and that's the thing is these companies have got to start paying their employees. I mean, Texas thinks they can get away with because minimum wage is 7.25. Oh, well, we pay above minimum wage.
Yeah, we pay 50, they pay 15 at my job right now instead of 7.25. And I'm like, but you're only doing that because you want people to come work for you.
Right.
You're only doing that because you know that nobody is taking a job at 7.25.
Nobody.
How could you? I could not imagine.
No, because we're barely able to pay our bills with 15.
And
Like,
it's crazy because like where I work, I started at 7.25
mm-hmm.
whenever I first started there part-time. When I moved to full-time is whenever I finally got a difference of pay, which was I went to $10. And then literally like a year later, they bumped everyone at the job, no matter what position you were in. If you were not making 12.50 yet, you got bumped. And it kills me because there were people that were upset with that. Like people that were upset that the part-timers were now making exactly what they were making. And I'm like, what does it matter? People need to live. Now they're all making 15, which is like, I don't make 15, I make a little bit more now than that. But whenever it got bumped to 15, we all got bumped to 15. I as well. We were all at the same level. And that did not bother me because I was happy that people were getting paid to be able to come and work. You don't want to go to work when you have no money.
Mm-hmm.
Because what does it matter? If I'm not making anything and I have no money afterwards, what does it matter if I keep showing up to that place?
Right.
And of course, businesses capitalize on that because they're like, oh, well, we have to have people to work for us. So if we show the increase in pay, then maybe it'll, for one, get people to stay, but also drive new people here. And it just doesn't work like that anymore. Like, we have to keep moving, first of all, with the times, whether our government wants to enforce the pay wage to go up or not. But these companies definitely need to like realize you have good people working for you, pay them. You have people that want to be there, pay them. Just pay them well and they will stay there. They will be your best workers. And yet they're just like, We can get someone else. Like you say, we can get someone else for cheaper.
Right. Or, these are billion-dollar companies we're talking about. I know your company is. I know my company. They got money. Like,
Mhm.
what is so wrong with identifying that people are struggling, that inflation is through the roof? I mean, minimum wage is 7.25 in Texas. A gallon of milk costs $6. So you're telling me that gallon of milk was worth 1 hour of work? What is this? Little House on the Prairie?
God damn it, Laura Ingalls!
She would be rolling in
In her rolled oats.
she would be churning in her butter
Literally.
right now.
I swear to God.
Cuz I know
She don't even know what 725 means. They were paying in prickly pears back then. Like, what do you mean?
it's just inflation is insane. The cost of living is insane. Everything is going up, but the one thing that refuses to go up is what these companies want to pay their employees, and it's got to stop. I'm thinking about rioting tomorrow. If you want to, we can go downtown. I'll riot.
I'll start typing. Dear Mr. Not the president.
President Trump, help us.
Help me. Okay, so let's go into fantasy world for a minute. What is the first thing that you would do if you won the Powerball tomorrow?
First of all, fantasy world is a constant state of mind for me. I live in a state of delusion. I am one big back delusional bitch.
Period.
Period. I'm gonna buy the metaverse.
There are going to be signs that I've gotten money.
Yeah.
Buying the metaverse is going to be one of them.
And then we're gonna slowly acquire Chat GPT because that's our bitch.
Honestly, though, because I need to make sure that bitch is taken care of, bro.
If I won the Powerball tomorrow, and the Texas Powerballs, they get crazy. Someone from our city won the Powerball
Mhm,
like two years ago.
mhm.
I think about that every day because I'm like, who is that person? Where did they go? What did they do? They didn't even claim that ticket for months.
I know. That's crazy.
Baby, I
That
would
must
have.
be nice to just sit there with millions waiting on you to pick up.
Crazy thing is, they probably lived at the country club.
Probably.
So they probably went to go pick up their ticket in a Tesla. Because that's just the way the world works. It never happens to the people that actually need it. It always happens to Judge Roy Jones, who's got a 17-acre piece of property and he bought a scratch off at All Subs while getting his bean burrito, and now he's a fucking mega ball winner. Like, it's never the people that need it. But
Never.
I digress. If I won the Powerball tomorrow, first of all, we're getting in a car and we're driving to Austin
Okay.
because that's where you got to pick up your check.
Period.
I'm taking the lump sum because absolutely nobody is going to be in charge of delegating how much money and when I get it.
Mhm.
So I'm not taking the monthly payments. I'm taking the lump sum.
Same.
Take all your taxes, take everything off the top,
You're
and
not getting another inch.
leave me alone. Then I'm going to go to a bank that will allow me to have that much money at one time. So if I got to go to Hogswarts, that's where I'm going. I'm walking into Gringotts and I'm saying, listen here, bitches. No, I would honestly probably get a financial advisor just at the very beginning, just to tell me how much money I can spend a year if I planned on living to be 100 years old.
Okay.
Because I would need to know.
I get
Like,
that.
okay,
Budget.
if you can spend $5 million a year until you're 100. Great. Thank you. That's all I need to know. Then after that, I'm coming back home. I'm getting Benny and I'm getting Moose. I'm putting them in a Louis Vuitton stroller, and we are gonna go on the longest walk of our life. And I'm gonna think about the first place I'm gonna go to because I'm gonna just get on the internet and I'm gonna book a flight to Bora Bora, and I'm going tomorrow,
Period.
an all-inclusive resort, and I'm gonna sit on a beach for probably 2 weeks
I
and
was gonna
just
say 2 months, but 2 weeks is fine.
I don't care, 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever. I'm gonna sit there and I'm just gonna think about how much money I got and all of the things that I'm gonna spend it on. To be honest, I don't know. People say, "Oh, I'm gonna buy a house, I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna buy all these things." I feel like it would be so much money that
Would you
I
quit
would,
your job?
baby, I wouldn't even, I would just drive by and holler at the window. Yeah. Like, y'all aren't even going to see me again. Good luck. Like, bye.
I feel
Definitely
that.
quitting my job. I'm going to take a nice vacation. And then when I get back, that's when I'm going to start making money moves. I want to be smart with my money. I want to invest it and I want to have a business or something, maybe start an LLC in my name. I would probably give back to charity if I had a ton of money, tax write offs, all that good stuff. I want to help people. I don't want to be stupid though, and I don't want to go buy the Lamborghini and I don't want to go buy the $10 million mansion right out the gate. I don't want to do that.
Or the 7,000 chicken nuggets.
I might get a 30 piece,
Possibly.
possibly.
Possibly. We'll think about it.
Yeah, at Chipotle. They say guac is extra. I said, I'll buy all the guac in here.
That's
I
not
don't care.
creepy. Where is the Chipotle pepper?
Exactly. Who owns it?
Show me the pepper.
I got money from Mother Nature. You tell her I'm coming.
Literally. Me, I would probably, honestly, same kinda ish. I mean, I would go on a trip. I would immediately go on a trip. I don't know if I would quit my job though. I don't know. It just depends. Cause if it's a lot of money, I'm probably moving the fuck out of this fuck ass town.
We're talking like $500 million.
We're talking about that much, then yeah. First of all, I am moving the fuck out of this fuck ass town. I'm actually probably gonna go on vacation and hire someone to move me. And then I'm gonna come back from vacation to my new area, wherever it is.
No, like I'm talking about like I don't need anything I currently have.
Oh, you're
I
not
can
wrong.
just
Yeah,
rebuy it.
you're not wrong. Yeah, you're right. Actually, you're right. I'm just gonna leave an IOU, not even a note on the door. See you next time, whatever that will be. And yeah, going on my vacation, Bora Bora, top 10, not even top 10, top one. That is when we know we will have made it. So yeah, I'd go to Bora Bora for a couple of, honestly, I said 2 months and I full heartedly stand on that. Baby, ain't nobody gonna know me except that island. Me and that beach are about to be besties. And then yeah, I guess yeah, I probably would get rid of my job. I mean, there'd be no point in that. Like, what am I working for? Just to show up for them to be around me? No, hi, y'all had me for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
You can come find me on my podcast.
Yeah. Oh, the podcast would probably remain.
Oh, for sure, because we would still talk about everything. Because, baby, everything we went through, we still went through. So we got to talk about it still.
Exactly.
This is definitely our therapy of being able to rehash things that we haven't completely gotten rid of or gotten through in our mind. But yet, this is our way of kind of dealing with that.
We would still be the same people we've always been, but with just money and probably a BBL.
Oh, baby, I would be snatched. I would look different.
All these people that are like, "You're beautiful the way you are." Where's the surgeon?
I don't care. Money, if money can buy it, I'm buying it.
Cut it off. Take it off. Get it off me. Lip filler, remove this double chin, facelift,
Mm,
tracheotomy, whatever you,
all of them.
craniotomy, lobotomy. I'm ready. Let's do it. I got the money, baby. Wow, so that was an episode. Obviously, we get very worked up when it comes to money,
Mm-hmm.
like most people.
Absolutely.
So, in conclusion, money is fake.
Mm-hmm.
Capitalism is exhausting, and I should probably stop buying random things off TikTok shop at 2 a.m.
And honestly, we'd still work if we won the lottery. We'd just be doing it from a pool in Cabo, okay?
Speak for yourself, because like I said, I am not working another day in my life. I will quit my job with a minute's notice and I'm moving on. Don't ask me about any company or anything I've ever done in my past. I have simply moved on. And now I just am a person that exists with money. So if this episode made you laugh, spiral, or check your bank account out of panic, because I definitely did a couple times, do us a favor and leave us a comment below or just manifest some money our way, please.
And tell us some of your money horror stories, wildest purchase, and what you'd really do if that Powerball hit. We want to know.
As always, we'll be back next week with more chaos, more honesty, and probably at least one thing we'll regret saying.
And remember, if you're ever trying to buy something wild at 2 a.m., just
Just
delete
delete
that.
that.
Beep, 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 beep.
Boom.
What a fucking train wreck that one was.